Generation, if you look at the fact books, there are a lot of research which has been done, especially by McCrindle, one of the international research group. And they identified and they claimed very strongly that this generation, but with the kind of pace they are growing and they're coming up, by the time they all are, all are out, like by 2025, by the time this generation is all set, they are going to outnumber, and they're going to be the largest generation so far in the history. So it is very crucial and very important to shape up this generation in the most appropriate way for the betterment of mankind for the eras to come. Parenting the Alpha Generation, this particular book is actually all about solving the fundamental challenges of this generation. We all are aware to some or the other extent that, okay, there is a generation which is screen savvy, there is a generation which cannot live without devices, and we all have our own definitions, right?
Correct.
Think about parents. Even they are aware of all these challenges, and in between this, they have to do their due diligence of raising this child or upbringing this child who has been sent to them from the golden sky. Correct. So they have to be very much equipped, and that's where my book solves the purpose. And I've given functional tools, not just the surface information, functional tools which the parents can actually customize and use it to resolve those fundamental challenges. And it's a very, very easygoing book.
You know that we are talking to very talented, very dynamic, very passionate authors these days. And we have Ankita Puri with us, another dynamic and very passionate, very talented author. And she's from Dubai. She's connecting with us from Dubai. And we will be talking to her. We will know about her book. We will know about her. And of course, we are going to have a great time. But before I welcome Ankita ji, let me briefly introduce her to you, and then we will welcome, and then we'll continue with the discussion. She is basically a qualified computer science engineer, and after that, she has done her graduation in the field of management. Her specialization is parenting. She has spoken and she has taken various training programs and coaching programs for various students and their parents across many countries. And she has trained, coached more than 10,000 students, if I'm not wrong. Then before she started with all these activities, she has great corporate experience of working with more than few good Fortune 500 companies on very influential positions. What you can say, one very popular award is given to her, that is Global Icon Dubai Award 2023, that is for Best Academic Mentor. So congratulations, ma'am, and welcome to this author interview series. Thank you for taking time out.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. You've been very kind to introduce me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be on with you.
Please add to the profile if I have missed on anything.
No, you have absolutely covered me beautifully in all about me, which I have been doing. And as you rightly said, I'm sure the audience must have got it through that I have been with the higher education for a very, very long time now. And as parenting became my favorite subject because I have been with the young generation throughout. So yes, this is something which is my passion. And I have been given those recognitions out of my experts and expert comments and inputs I have been giving back to the society. So I appreciate you covering all those points.
Great. So I have a couple of questions in my mind, and I'll start one by one. Parenting the Alpha generation. So this is not a very specific and very open book on subject parenting. This is not applicable to everyone. You are focusing mainly on Alpha generation. So can you briefly, why did you feel there is a need of this kind of coaching and this kind of book especially for alpha generation parents?
Certainly, yes. There was a lot of research which I was doing when I was finding out that parenting requirement never ends. It is a dire need of any generation you pick up, from baby boomers to Generation X to Generation Y and the generations to come forward. Because anyone who is a parent is a first-time parent, no matter what it comes, what all practices the child or the parent has seen in past. Especially alpha generation, if you look at the fact books, there are a lot of research which has been done, especially by McCrindle, one of the international research group. And they identified and they claimed very strongly that this generation, but with the kind of pace they are growing and they're coming up, by the time they all are, all are out, like by 2025, by the time this generation is all set, they are going to outnumber, and they're going to be the largest generation so far in the history. So it is very crucial and very important to shape up this generation in the most appropriate way for the betterment of mankind for the eras to come. And that's where the requirement of parenting this generation is a little bit crucial, and conscious efforts which are required by the parents. And that was the reason why I picked up the topic so specific to this generation. So when we say parenting the alpha generation, this particular book is actually providing the, it's all about solving the fundamental challenges of this generation. Now, we all are aware to some or the other extent that, okay, there is a generation which is screen savvy, there is a generation which cannot live without devices, and we all have our own definitions, right?
Correct.
Think about parents. Even they are aware of all these challenges. And in between this, they have to do their due diligence of raising this child or upbringing this child who has been sent to them from the golden sky. Correct. So they have to be very much equipped. And that's where my book solves the purpose. And I did, a bit of research. I have implemented some personal experiences. I've given functional tools, not just the surface information, functional tools which the parents can actually customize and use it to resolve those fundamental challenges. And it's a very, very easygoing book. No healthy jargons, but yes, something which a reader can connect to.
Great. So here comes my next question. Whoever reads this book, what is he going to get in it?
Whoever reads this book, it needs a definition also. So, like, for example, if you are a new parent or if you are going to be a parent, you will actually be equipping yourself in terms of how you are going to build up this little soul eventually, right from the babyhood. There is something called Garbh Sanskar in our Indian culture, where this topic is actually picking up a lot of presence in the minds of aware parents, because they start talking about imbibing moral values in the minds of the soul when the soul is within the womb of the mother. Correct. Now, it is taking time, but it is a process which has kick-started. Similarly, if you are a new parent and if you have picked up this book, you are going to get benefited by understanding that how early you can use my tools to solve your future challenges, which this child is going to throw back on you. It is normal. It is not that every child is going to throw different challenges. We all want, for instance, we all want our children to believe in God. We all want our children to have a family values, a belief system. Who doesn't want it? We know that there will be an age wherein the child will be bullied or might be a bully himself or herself. Correct. So if you are not a new parent, if you're already a parent of a tween, you may find that, all right, this is what I missed in my previous years with my child. But now, okay, there is a solution because my child is now 9 years old. I can still use this particular tool to resolve the certain issues. So it's a variance which I have given in my entire book, not restricted to a particular audience. And to my surprise, I even got a very beautiful response from a particular genre, I should say, age category, grandparents. When the grandparent picked up my book, out of curiosity, I asked that grandparent that what entices you to pick this title? And a very beautiful reply came, I need to connect with my grandchild, not unless I act as one of his parents or her parents, I'm not able to bridge that gap.
Correct.
So, it solves the purpose of different age categories. And the takeaways, as I said, is a value addition to the parenting which they're doing. Everyone does a good job, and it becomes better when they get inputs from different resources. We all go back to Google for many things multiple times in a given day of our lives. So treating this as one of the substitute of the resource will surely help them to focus on fixing the fundamental problems. And once the fundamental issues are taken care of, they can then build up a beautiful parenting memory as and when the child is growing up, creating a more stronger bond between parents and the child.
Great. So I'm going to show your book to the audience. We are Parenting the Alpha Generation. This is the book from Ankita Puri. And this book is available. This book is available on Amazon in paperback format, in ebook format, both the formats the book is available. You can just search with the book's name, book's title, or you can search with author's name. The book link will be available. This is going to be one fantastic book in your collection. So please order your copy immediately. So, ma'am, next question. When you were writing this book, when this idea came in your mind that I should be writing on this subject, and you started writing, and one fine day you finished writing. So how was the whole journey? As an author, how will you describe it?
Oh, this question is very close to my heart. And I think now I'm close to all the authors who have this similar feeling. Finishing a book is not it's not a taken for granted job. It is something which defines your sense of determination. And my whole experience, my journey was, if I have to really tell you here, I was a different version of myself. Because we all have our commitments of our daily life, our work commitments, family commitments. And on top of that, you're picking up a challenge of writing a book, that too with such a sensible topic, which you really can't just do a mental vomit. You really have to do a lot of research, frame it appropriately, and many finer details. And when you decide to write a book, and that's when I decided to pick up my book, first thing was I wanted to identify which is that hour of my day when I'm not being interrupted by anything. It could be a mental thought, or it could be a physical interruption. So I picked up that hour of the day, and which was the late night hours. Unlike me, because I am not a late night person, I am an early riser, but a different version of me suddenly came out of myself. And I was wondering, is it the same Ankita who used to go to bed at, say, 9:30, 10 o'clock? But here I am at 10 o'clock, me with my laptop and myself. So the book writing journey was tremendous in terms of exploring my own self, putting my thoughts in a particular format, strategizing my process. And the beauty while that time when I was writing was the beautiful support I was getting from my little family, my son, who was 9 years old, my husband, and there was a comfort given by them, which was a conscious comfort to make sure that my mental peace is not disturbed, my orientation is still focused. And whenever I was completing my chapters, at that very moment, I used to click the photo of the chapter and stamp it by the time. Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning and the date, because I know if I look back, I'm not going to believe it if it's just words. So I really wanted to have some proof for my own sake and sanity that I did it through these late nights workups. So this experience is once in lifetime, I should say, and it brought a lot of discipline. Me as a person, and I'm more determined now. I'm taking up more such challenges now. I'm more confident that yes, if I decide, I can do it, because I am an author now and I made it happen.
Wow. So here comes my next question. Whoever is writing their book, whoever has decided in the middle of writing, as a published author yourself, what kind of tips, what kind of guidance you would give them?
I'll say the book keeps judging you, okay? The book keeps testing you, not judging, okay? It will keep testing you back. I learned from my mentor a very beautiful statement that when you start writing a book, treat it as a living being. Put a soul in that book. The moment you forget the book, the soul leaves from there. And if there is no soul, that object becomes dead. So when we all have tough times, we all have more commitments, more than our capacity in our daily life, and no one is spared. No one can say, hey, I'm very free today. And no, that this statement does not exist anymore. If
Correct.
you're saying you're free, you're definitely missing out on something which could have been done by that time. But having said that, what kept me motivated and what I want the other authors who are in the journey is, even though you had a very tough day today, even though you're sweating, you're tired, you're exhausted, open your laptop or open your notebook, wherever you're writing those pages, read them, give 5 minutes so that the soul remains in the book. You may not write a new chapter, you may not write a new paragraph, but merely by reading, the book will respond back to you, breathe it back, and then your job is done for the day. And do not think that I will do it next weekend, because that next never comes. Never comes.
No procrastination, consistency is important.
Absolutely. You can't write, read. You can't read, just watch. See the page. It looks beautiful, and you will have that attraction. The book will attract you, and you will not be able to stop yourself to start writing, at least. But keep the soul alive.
Fantastic, fantastic. When you were in the middle of writing, any aha moment where you thought, oh my God, this is something different, this is something amazing? Any aha moment during your journey? I did. And I still get goosebumps when I think about it. It was at the very early stage of my writing. I've never written a book, never. I'm the first-time author. And I was all pepped up, and I was all guided by my mentor when I was about to start. And I started writing, and I wrote whatever was there in my mind related to that particular chapter. And when I completed, and I looked at my entire read, I felt wow for myself. At that very moment, I never wanted anyone else to come and pat my back. I felt so proud of myself. Is this me who has written this? I mean, I can just take this page and get it printed, and I was ready to call myself as a junior author. The moment is still so fresh in my memories, and that pride, that moment gave me such a pride of and a motivation. It is like patting your own back and saying, Ankita, well done.
Yeah, you did it. Like, yeah, okay, I did it.
Great. Fantastic. So now when the book is out and people are reading it, buying it, and they're giving you feedback, and then the reviews are coming in, how's the feeling?
Close to a celebrity.
Oh, well said. Close to a celebrity. When people meet you, they take selfie with you, they ask for autograph, and they call you and tell me, send me an author signed copy. So it's a celebrity feeling.
The autograph part, and though we were trained initially when we were in the boot camp, and we were told that these moments will come, so don't get astonished, be ready for that. But still, a common man or a common person like us, for us, suddenly when you are in the same crowd and same person whom you know from months and ages comes forward and say, I need an autograph from you, you feel a bit of feeling. Exactly. And with such a bad handwriting of mine, I mean, I have to practice my handwriting too, because the first time I wrote the autograph during my book launch, I had a cold feet. I never had a cold feet in any of the instances of book launch. But when first autograph, which I gave that to, it was a guest who was being invited by someone. And he was a total stranger to me. And giving an autograph to a total stranger was lovely. It was amazing.
Fantastic. So, any next project in mind after this? Anything coming up?
Yes, I am actually building up more on this right now, because during my recent travels to India, I realized that there are a lot of people who do not have the capacity to read the book. Though they do have challenges. They are parents, but their capacity of reading a book, maybe say in the language, in the English, or maybe book reading is not their cup of tea. So that gave me a lot of insight that it doesn't end here. This has to go to the next level. So I'm planning to build up a bit more about more about bringing parenting tips to the doorsteps of those for whom the book is not the option. Maybe the digital versions, maybe the tutorials and something. And while I do that, I'm also picking up. Maybe it's not a sooner project, but yes, I already seeded the plans for my next book in my brain, and I've started doing a bit of a research. And hopefully this will also be a value addition to the alpha generation. So I've given something to the parents. Now I think I can also contribute something to the generation itself. So let's see.
Great.
How it shapes up.
Another question. As a parenting coach, as a author of book on parenting, what kind of quick tips you would like to give to all the parents, not only parents of alpha generation, quick tips to all types of parents, quick tips?
There is a lot which can be spoken about when it talks about tips. However, there are a few things which I'm actually now giving away during my conversations and during my speaker sessions to people. Let me put it in an example. There's something called listening wall, #listening wall. Now, this is my tool which I have used, and people within my vicinity who are parents have also used. So #listening wall is a beautiful tool which can be implemented by a parent for their child who are within the age group of 4 or 5 years to 6 or 7 years kind of a category, because this is the time when the child is actually getting exposed to the outer community. They are going out to play schools, they've started their schools, and now there are a lot of things they're picking up from their social circles and peers. It is very important for them to speak their heart out. Now, they must have created a mental stage wherein they did something wrong and accidentally one of the parent must have shouted or got angry or got grounded. So the child starts building up its own interpretation of actions, which may lead to certain decisions which are not good for a child's thought process. So listening wall is like one such tool wherein you can give confidence to the child right from a very early age that if you talk to the wall, what happens? A child with year of 4 and 5 can answer that the wall never listens, the wall never talks back. Fair enough. Treat me as your wall. Speak out your heart to me. Speak out your confessions to me. Speak out your mistakes which you have done. And as a wall, I promise I'm not going to respond to you. I'm not going to give you any response. So it's like nothing is going to bounce back. So now the child gets the confidence that I'm not going to get shoutings. I'm not going to get any kind of a grounding. No beatings and nothing, no punishments, because I'm talking to a wall. This is very, very important tool. And how it works is the child needs to just say, Mama, #listening wall. And the mama says listening wall opens. Now it's just the child who talks until the child says listening wall close. Now it's your commitment that you will not pick that topic right at that very moment, even though you're furious of what you heard. You have to hold your horses, look for the right time, and try to create a situation at a later day or a later week or the next day when you can bring up the conversation in a very healthy way that the child gets, assimilated. The child will never be able to connect because now the child knows that this is something which mom is teaching me as a lesson or dad is teaching me as a lesson, but no shouting. You are going to gain confidence. And think of a situation, fast forward your life, 10 years from now, the child is now used to come home and tell the truth. So you are going to gain benefits at a later stage wherein the trauma is more, wherein the pressure is more, and the mistakes are more stronger. So you are actually helping them out for a better future. This is one of the tools I often give to the parents, and I hope it works for all.
Okay, here we come towards the end of this session today. And Thank you, Ankita ji, for a wonderful session, for wonderful insight, for wonderful tips, and speaking your mind out, speaking your experience, and guiding our upcoming authors so that they can also come out with their books. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule, talking to us and sharing your views and opinions. Any closing words from your side so that I can close this interview after that?
I appreciate your time as well. All I want to say is that I'm very thankful to the entire team of Wings Publication, and especially my mentor, because Dr. Kailash, who's my mentor, he is one source of energy, and he never let me down whenever I was getting puzzled with my chores and my book writing. So it is very important to have a mentor, is what I want to say to all the readers and all the future authors. Have a mentor next to you. That mentor may not be doing any validation to your subject matter, but a lot can be done by the presence itself. And believe the process. If you are writing a book, believe the process. You are doing a great returns to the mankind, and it will always be valued. And I'm thankful to everyone who have listened to me and Dr. Deepak today. And Dr. Deepak, special thanks to you for hosting this interaction.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words. And thank you, everyone. I'm again expressing my request to everyone. This is one fantastic book on parenting, available on Amazon in paperback format, in ebook format, within India, outside India. This book is available globally. So book your copy, grab your copy immediately and read it. I'm sure you will be learning great lessons from this book. So thank you for this book, Ankita ji, and thank you very much for today. This is the end of today's session. Thanks a lot again. Thank you for joining in today.